Hi ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of PasticheofSkin, here with a first look at a game on PS4. It's called Gems of War, and it's a free-to-play game. So tell us, what do you think, Durham? So, pretty much Gems of War is a generic knockoff of a particularly well-known game. I think we've all at some point seen or played a version of Puzzle Quest or Galactrix or whatever you want to call it. It's a match 3 game, it's a Candy Crush, it's columns, it's whatever you want it to be, but with a fantasy angle and a little bit of an RPG element to it. I mean, even if you just look at these screens, it looks like Puzzle Quest, although a little bit more clean and simplified down, mostly because I think this must have been a tablet or a phone app that's actually been rejigged around for release on consoles. The tutorial level that starts the game off is reasonably easy and just runs you through the basic attacks and what you can do whenever you use different kinds of mana. The main thing I have with this is that it's actually pretty easy. Puzzle Quest was really mean with its enemies. Everything, like down to the lowest rat, could kick your ass. In this, I didn't really have that much of a problem with anything whenever I was going through the first few levels of the game. But that's because of the nature of it being a free-to-play game. You don't want to scare them off so early at the beginning. I mean, you get a lot of rewards, and you get to name your character. I mean, of course, you see here, I'm choosing my usual name, either Ocha Peru or Britain Peru. You can see me in any RPG, you'll know that I'm probably using those names. So, you don't really get that much on the level of customization on it. But one thing I will reward the game on is that it really seems to decide that you have to have the most variety of races possible. You've got your usual human, you've got your elf, you've got your, well, orc, I suppose it was, orc or goblin or whatever it is. But you also have cat, dog, and lizard. So, for all of you otherkin out there, I think this game might be for you. I'm not too sure. So yeah, you got a big world map that you can sit and go through quests and challenges, and I mean, I found that the challenges were a little bit more playable than the quests. The quests seemed to actually be very linear and actually like small amounts of enemies, just to kind of like piecemeal you into actually doing a lot of missions whenever they could have been done in one. But whenever you do challenges, you win these souls, which are used for the purposes of training up your troops. Not even yourself, but used for training up troops, because you just get an EXP boost whenever you go from level to level in this anyway. Along with, of course, upgrading your mastery of whatever element it is to get more of it whenever you match gems for it. So you match 3 gems, you might get 4 or 5 instead of actually just getting the normal 3. What am I doing explaining the mechanics of a click 3 matcher game with RPG elements? These have been around for at least 10 years now. I mean, I'm thinking when I enjoyed playing Puzzle Quest on the first 360, so that's at least 7. So this is a game series that's being a game series that's already been done better. I mean, with the challenges that you can do, you're going to be coming up against a series of enemies over and over again, but that's mostly done so you can complete these tasks that you have set in front of you at the top right corner, and of course I've shown them full screen. Each of these tasks are just designed to make more money for you, cheddar, cash, so you can go on ahead and, of course, take the unlocks that you get whenever you complete other missions. I mean, whenever you start off, you really only have one kingdom that you can do quests in over and over again, which limits you to the amount of enemy types and whatever else you can find. But it also limits you the amount of money you can receive, because the tribute that you receive from any kingdom is actually because you've mastered it or you controlled it or you receive it on a daily basis, because that's the free-to-play elements of this game. It's the come back tomorrow and get more money so you can continue playing, and make sure people have retention rather than actually having them a gaming experience that they can just burn through or they can actually maintain for a short period of time. I mean, the big thing was that they actually have invasion and defense, that you can actually defend your kingdom and you can invade your kingdom by using yourself and a series of troops that you can choose. I mean, you can have a deck of 4 for each banner that you have under your control, and select the most appropriate monsters to kind of defend yourself and to actually attack your opponent. Okay, whenever somebody challenges you and invades your land, you're not actually directly fighting them. It's not direct 1v1 PvP. It's kind of like you leave a retainer that actually like maintains defense of your place, which not always that smart unless you have really You receive these cards from opening chests with iron keys or golden keys, iron keys being bought with in-game currency, golden keys being bought with RMT. And the cards that you receive are occasionally, I mean, it's a random drop, it's a booster pack, same as if you're opening a deck in, well, in Hearthstone, yeah, you know, it's kind of the same vein. But I found that raising the money to get the cards, unless you're going through kingdoms for the first time and getting the boost at the very beginning, was quite difficult, unless you're actually taking on invasions or challenges where you can receive a lot more monetary reward for attacking somebody else's domains and lands. But the generation of opponents in it seems to be reasonably random and actually costs you in-game currency to actually re-roll whenever you're going into battle. So you can choose to take on that battle and take that 110 reward. But it's only a matter of time until you actually re-roll and you end up against a level 33 guy that you literally have no real idea how he's going to attack you for damage, because the stats system is like obviously shown on the cards, but it's an AI that's playing as it. You might win, you might not, but you're going to pay for it in the first place. And even to re-roll on the fact that you actually miss that turn, you might not have the coinage, the 230, the 400 it is, to actually take part in that fight, because it's generated by time. There is a guild system within the game that allows you and your friends and family to connect together and actually share stats, share bonuses for different areas, and share in-game currency, I'm sure, as well. And has an international standing and leaderboard. At the moment, I created one, and I did it for like, in-game currency of about 1,000 gold, and I called it Guild Pastiche, and I immediately showed up at like 1,470 on the scoreboard. So it doesn't seem to actually have that big of a leadership board going on at the moment, and I'm sure that will probably decline as people move on from this onto other games, or actually may increase as this game becomes extremely popular. I just feel like it's social media coercion that hasn't really been applied correctly, and we don't need it in this console generation for these kinds of games. Moving on to the inevitable real money transaction store, you can see that it's actually purchase per grade GBP for crystals, and gems are then converted into keys, gold, costumes, souls, bundles. Well, actually, bundles are sold for real money. So this is the main purpose of this game to exist. It's a puzzle quest clone that uses an RMT store that feels like Guild Wars, that doesn't really... Well, I mean, the thing is, the costumes in the game actually do speed up your character growth and gameplay and money raising, so that it is a pay to win. You can buy the best costume in this and instantly get double the amount of gold and double the amount of EXP and double the amount of souls in every single fight that you take part in. So why wouldn't you spend the money on 500 gems? But whenever you look at the 500 gems, that's what, $10? Yeah, well, I'm just thinking it's actually close to about 10-15 pounds, so it's near enough to $20-30 to actually be able to buy and immediately kind of like trounce through. And even worse, whenever it actually shows things in the glory section, which appear to be end game items, specifically souls, particular items, and of course the sidekicks and equipment that you use to defend your base. Which means that you could buy your way into defense and actually make yourself unstoppable as a player, and that seems to be the main purpose of this game. It's not free to play for the fun of it with cosmetics applied. It's designed to eat your time, make you come back on a regular basis, and inevitably make you feel so bad that you have to spend your money.